Computer. Hello. Jolene and Shaleen here with the masterclass for today in February. And this is our Love Yourself class. We're so excited to share with you. Had a little snafu yesterday with a funeral, so it's just Jolene and I, and we're recording to share with the many of you that love to hear the recording. So thank you for understanding, and we're gonna move forward with an amazing information. If I could just clarify that what Jolene and I are starting to do is maybe even called life coaching a little bit more, coaching you to be a better you in so many ways, not just oils, but of course, including oils, because that's what we're so passionate about. So things today are going to seem a little bit different because it's not going to be oil centered. When I was in seventh grade, I was in a spelling bee and I got the word extraordinary. And extraordinary, I didn't know how to spell it, but I guessed. And I got it wrong and I was kicked out. But I was a very sure kid. I can remember running back to my teacher's class and going, but I know I spelled it right. And I pulled out her book to look up to see how you spelled it. And sure enough, I learned that there is an A and an O in the middle of the word. It is extraordinary. Extraordinary. It is above and beyond ordinary. Extra. So every time I see that word, I think of that spelling bee that I missed it on. So we're going to talk about ways that we can be extraordinary, and we can be. We might not think we are because we're working on ourselves and what we think of ourselves, but we can be. So I was in a mentoring class once, and he had us write down some negative feelings about ourselves. I have the paper right here. And we were supposed to write down some negative feelings about ourselves. We were supposed to write down 5. And I got 4 written down before he said, now what I want you to do is I want you to neutralize the negative. So this was quite a few years ago. I'm doing much better, by the way. But the first one says, I don't feel loved because of my personal body image. The second one says, I am not self-confident. Number 3 said, I can't do big things. And the fourth one said, I am not smart. So that's admitting a lot to you about things that go on in my head sometimes. But what he had us do was he had us neutralize the negative by making up a sentence that neutralized the negative in our lives. And then he said, I want you to add a couple more things to it, not just one sentence, but like some supporting something. So don't feel loved because my body image is one of my biggest struggles my whole life. And so I wrote, I feel loved because I'm beautiful and good enough the way I am, and I take care of myself and I smile. And okay, that's one thing to write these neutralizing the negatives. And then he said, okay, we're all going to stand up. There was about 250 people in the room. He says, we're all going to stand up and we're going to yell at the top of our lungs the neutralized statement. It was hard to voice it out of my mouth. And yet I was surrounded by people yelling at the top of their lungs. A young man sitting in front of me, well, standing in front of me as he yelled this, I could hear him the most because he had a real deep voice. And he was yelling, I am handsome and confident, and I am worth finding a young woman to marry. He was just yelling at the top of his lungs. It was very sweet. But it was also a real learning experience for me to realize that the negative things that are in my head, and if I could change them to neutralize them and make myself feel better about myself, and then voice it and say it. I'm still working on it. I'm doing so much better with these things, but I'm still struggling. So I think we probably struggle our whole lives. I hope I'm not the only one. But I just thought that was an idea for you to neutralize those negative thoughts and find a way to be positive. I don't need to share with you the rest of that, but it was a pretty cool experience. I have a new favorite book, and you guys know me, I'm reading self-development books a lot, but I read them very slowly, and I put them on the back of my toilet and I read them just a little bit every day. And it's just what I need. It's just a little umph every day that just brings me joy. And as I read a book, I mark them and I put little brackets around the parts I want to remember. And then when I finish the book, I go back and I start again and I read the marked parts and I asterisk the ones that still passionately resonate with me. And then I type up those parts so that I can share them with people so that it can help me better to reinforce the good messages that I get. So I'm about a third, about a third of a way through this book, The Miracle Equation by Hal Elrod. He's the one that wrote The Miracle Morning, and I really enjoyed that book. This is his second book, The Miracle Equation. And I am a third of the way through the book, and I think I've marked at least half, probably more than half of what I've read. It's going to be a book in itself when I pull apart the parts that I want to remember. This will probably be by my bedside my whole life because he just has a way of really helping me want to create miracles in my life. And he says, are miracles experienced only by special or chosen people? Do miracles only occur randomly? Could it be that we are each born with limitless potential and capabilities far greater than what we believe about ourselves? And what if you realized that you're only a decision or two away from tapping into that potential? And he's just starting to talk about some of the ways we can do that. He does it partly by sharing his own experience of being hit by a drunk driver when he was 20 years old and told he would never walk again. What do you think of Hal Elrod, Jolene?
He's my hero. I feel the exact same way. When I had the opportunity to start listening to him this past year, live and recordings, or actually it was live as he was talking, for like 6 months. He was doing this, and I hung on every word that he said, and then I made my plan of how to incorporate it, and it has really been a life-changing experience with him. So totally encourage anyone who can get their hands on, even if you just listen to his book, but reading it and being able to highlight it, you will not regret it. It will be time very worth it.
Yeah. And you've done a better job than I have of really delving in and changing your own world. I think I'll get there as I go through this book, but oh my goodness, he's just a good man. So great information there. Wanted to share that with you. Then I wanted to just touch on The Big Leap. This is a book I read, probably 5 or 6 years ago. It's by Gay Hendricks, and it is such an eye-opening book. It started talking about different zones that we live in, a zone of incompetence where we just might concentrate on what we're doing, but it's all the stuff we're not good at. We're choosing to live in that zone of incompetence. The next is zone of competence. Well, these are the things we're good at. Other people may be really equally good at them too, but we just kind of live in that area. What came to mind is my daughter finally getting a job, bless her heart, when they moved for her husband to get his master's degree. And she's literally marking something and taking it out of a box and putting it in a different box. And that's the whole thing. She's got a college degree. She could do so much more. But sometimes we are stuck, in that zone of competence. There's not a lot that we're doing. Well, then the book went on to talk about the zone of excellence. And as I turned the page and started reading this, I was just like, oh, yeah, that's me. That's where I live. These are the things you're really good at. And you spend time doing the things you're really good at. And it makes you feel good about yourself. And I just was so pleased. I was just like, this book makes me feel so good. This is where I'm living. And I turned the page and it starts talking about the zone of genius. I went, there's another zone. Are you kidding me? And the zone of genius is where you operate at your highest level of creativity and productivity. And each of us has a zone of genius, and our job is to find it and spend as much time as possible living and working in it. And I just love that concept. It's changed my thought process. He even went so far as to say, have others do the things you're not good at. Have even if you're at a point in your life you can pay others to do the things that need to be done that you're not good at. Spend your time and your energy in your zone of genius. It's just life-changing for me to really think of that. Went on to say the upper limit problem, the self-sabotage that happens in life when we are subconsciously living in our comfort zone. Well, this is comfortable. I'm comfortable here. I'm comfortable doing this. I don't need to stretch and do that because this is very comfortable. And I'm very comfortable living here. So why should I stretch and try to reach the zone of genius? And that's the upper limit problem. We might be doing well in the zone of excellence, but there's a whole nother level that we could reach. It's not to put pressure on you. It's just to find those miracles and do those things, if I can bring the two books together that way. So living close to our full potential and having a knack for bringing visions into reality. How can we do these things? Jolene's going to talk to us a little bit about oils and how it can help. We can meditate. We can plan more. If you're a planner, I'm always telling people, write things down so you can remember them and cross them off. But I even have children. I mean, I have some children that are very much like me, but I have some children who have just tried, but writing it down doesn't work for them because they don't sit back down to look at what they wrote down. And so I understand if you're not somebody who does it like I do and writes everything down. But for me, that works. For me, I'm very productive because I write things down and I review them and then I do them. But some people just need some quiet meditation time, just need time to let everything settle, and then they're ready to be productive. And they have more brilliant minds than I because they can remember it all without writing it down. So, and have a list of do items. Have a list, whether it's in your head or written down, of things that you want to get done. You're going to be able to bring a vision into your life and make things happen. I am not somebody that enjoys cooking, but I had to feed a family of 10 with our 8 children, and I figured out how to freeze or food cook. I figured out how to freeze the meals ahead of time, make myself cook for, a few days' time, and then put it all in the freezer and not have to cook those meals for a long period of time. And it became something that I'm passionately good at, and I'm actually in the zone of genius at because I did it so much, not because I'm a good cook, but because I had something I wanted to figure out how to do. And then I did it so that I could take care of my family. It makes me smile that Jolene and I both love to sew. And recently she had a group get together to have a sewing night on a Friday night. And you're thinking of continuing that, at least on a monthly basis, right? But you just took something that you thought of and how can you help people? And you made it happen. You just said, well, I'm going to do this. And then others joined in and you changed a lot of people's lives. And I just love that. We're both very passionate about the oils and we have changed lives. For the last many, many years, we have changed lives. I had a friend text me this morning. She has shingles, doggone it. I've helped so many people with shingles. And do you know, it is hard because we're not doctors, we're not nurses, but we're passionate about helping people. And I start spouting off, well, do this with rose. And she's like, I can't stand the smell of rose. It's been, and I was like, okay, all right, we'll take deep blue polyphenol. I don't take pills. I just crush everything. I'm not going to do pills. And it's so each person's different. You've got to help each person. I may say, well, this has helped somebody and this has helped somebody, but now I've got to find other ways to help her. And she was very open to all the other suggestions I gave her, and it was awesome. But we're passionate about helping every person that needs help, and the oils have really provided that. So I need, the key is not to come from a place of I'm not good enough or I can't do this, but come from a place of I am limitless. I can help so many people. I can do so many things, not to get overwhelmed, but just to find that zone of genius and focus on that so that I can do what I want to do. I have spent many times over the last years creating a vision board, creating affirmation statements, and doing exactly what this next sentence says. Don't stare at a vision board or mindlessly repeat affirmations and then wonder why nothing is happening. Think and act differently from the majority of people. So I have done these things. I know they've helped, but I need to have the do part of it be then get up and do things that are probably different than most people do. So most people habitually allow their fear and their self-doubt to consume their thinking. And it's time to override that with fear and faith. I was on a trip once and I can remember right where we were. We were in the mountains in Utah and coming down a mountain. And my mind went to one of those rabbit hole thoughts. You just think, oh, what if there was an accident? Oh, what if that? What if I lost my husband? Well, then what would I do? Well, what would I do without this? And your mind goes down this rabbit hole of all these problems. And I stopped it pretty quick this time. And I thought to myself, why do I do that? Why do I waste time going down a rabbit hole like that that's negative? And I stopped it. And I don't think I've really done that since. And that was many years ago. I've stopped myself from that negative rabbit hole, going down that rabbit hole. So the one thing on this miracle equation book that it says on the front, and he talks about it a lot so far, is unwavering faith plus extraordinary effort equals miracles. And that's kind of the thought I wanted to leave you with. I'm going to repeating this a lot for myself over the coming years, that my unwavering faith in moving forward and helping people and serving and living in my zone of genius with extraordinary effort, and I will put in extraordinary effort, and I will create miracles. I just love that thought. And then how do I do this with oils help? I just want you to know that citrus is uplifting. If you're having a down day, anything citrusy will help you feel positive. Lavender soothes the mind and the body to be able to move forward and do these things. Bergamot, I think Jolene's going to talk about that in more detail, but it also helps regulate stress hormones. Ylang ylang is a great solution for lowering the stress and the energy. I've got a fun story on that one. I'll tell you in a sec. And then frankincense, which of course the king of oils, creates a peaceful, relaxing environment. So Dr. D, who's on our upline, has had a time when he's a wellness chiropractor. He had some young adults shadowing him. So some young people were in the room. I think there was 3 of them, he said, were shadowing him, watching him care for his patients for the day so that they could see him at work. And a mom came in with lots of things she needed help with, but she also had a 2-year-old with her. And the 2-year-old would just keep bugging the mom, and he was trying to help the mom. And so he sat the child down on the chair and he took his ylang ylang oil and he wafted it in front of the child's nose. And the child went, and then sat there quietly the whole time while he helped the mom. And then the mom and the little child left the room. And the young people that were shadowing him said, "What did you do to that child that you calmed the child down?" And he said, "All I did was take ylang ylang and waft that under his nose." So there's something about that oil that is a natural solution for lowering the energy and the stress that's going on in the body. And see, I don't like how it smells. So for me, it's not something I go to a lot, but if you like the smell and it does the job, go for it. I have also found I never used to like frankincense, and now I love it. So maybe I'm just learning to love the things that are good for me. Those are the thoughts I had prepared for today, Jolene, just to help us try to up level and realize we can do it. And I'll probably be repeating a lot. Unwavering faith plus extraordinary effort equals miracles.
Awesome. I always love your insights to things, and I really appreciate you sharing that. And you've already given us a lot to consider and to think about. I was trying to take notes while I was listening, so nice to have the recording so I can go back and fill in some of those. So this month is on self-care, which Shaleen has talked a lot about. So I just thought maybe we could take a minute and you've shared some of your ones, like my daily with the oils. So I don't love the taste of frankincense, but as I have it more, my body like just really yearns for it. So it used to be that I just put a drop on the on my thumb and hold it onto the top of my roof, the roof of my mouth. And that was nice, and it was an easy way to get in there. But recently, I've taken 2 drops underneath my tongue, so I'm increasing it and knowing that's one of the self-care things that I do, because frankincense is not a cheap oil, but it is rightfully the king of oils. And so, like, literally, if I was on a desert island and I could only have one oil with me, it would be the frankincense. And so when I started internalizing that, I keep saying that, but I like keep mine in such a closet so that it's not ever gone, that I don't use it like I should. And so I've changed that. I've gotten it out. It's usually sitting right here. I think it's on the bathroom over there. And I just take 2 drops under my tongue, or sometimes I'll diffuse it. It's a nice one to add to any other oil that you might be diffusing to set a peaceful tone in the home. But because of the expense, if you take it internally, it's the most powerful use of that. And so for my self-care, I've decided that I'm worth the price of that. And it's just 2 drops a day, and there's 250 drops in a bottle. So it goes a long ways, and it makes such a difference to your health and to your state of mind. Plus, just giving yourself permission that you're worth it is invaluable. And I think that's some of what we're kind of trying to talk about this month, in the month of February, of loving yourself, is so many times we think that there's that you don't deserve it, or someone else should have it more, or the list goes on and on. And but I'm inviting you to disband those thoughts and find those things that are truly lifting and helpful to you and your state of mind and to your body. Because when you take care of yourself, you're taking care of everyone else. You'll have the energy, you'll have the insight, you'll have the compassion to reach out to others. But if you don't feel yourself, then you won't have that either. So besides frankincense, is there another one that you like, is like on your list for the day?
Well, it's Queen of Oils. So
Uh-huh.
I bought the rose, but I used points because this tiny, it only comes in a 5 ml, guys, and it costs $275. That's the wholesale price. And I bought it with points because I just had to have it. And I do not like the smell of it. It is too, and I love rose. It's just too potent for me. It is 10,000. Well, it smells better than that. Oh no, it's so potent. It's 10,000 petals it takes to make this one 5 ml of rose. Now, they've come out with Rose Touch, where they've diluted it with fractionated coconut oil. This is $72. This is my absolute favorite. Once it's got the FCO in there, I use this as perfume. I use it for upliftment. I use it for everything. So this is my go-to.
Yeah, I love it in the touch. I don't see it right here.
Goes with me
There
every.
it is. I have this cute little bag,
Oh, yeah.
and it holds oils in it. And these are my go-to ones. And rose is in here, and frankincense is in here, along with peace and evolve, which is a blend that was a unique one for 1 year. But you can see these are like my top oils that I like keep with me everywhere. So find out what some of those are. If you want to have, a personal conversation with either me or Shaleen about what those are and why they would benefit you, it's a little bit different for everybody, and that's okay. We're all different, and we're all in different parts of life. And so the important part is to educate yourself on the things that bring joy to your life and take care of yourself. So like some of the spa products that they have that are just really quite amazing, because I've had a hard time with skincare type stuff, and I have found things that I really love with that. Do you have something right there?
Nope, not handy,
Okay.
but the new frankincense stick is my new favorite for my skin. I use it on my neck every day going up,
Mm-hmm.
and I use it here. I just love that they've put frankincense in that stick, and it's so good for your skin. I'm just like, okay, my neck's never gonna get old. I'm determined.
Well, I use it every single day. Sometimes it's sitting on my sink, so if I feel like I need it during the day, I'll grab it as well. Um, and so for me, it's like it's starting to make a difference. Like my brown spots here started to be better, but since I've put frankincense on it, it's like taking a next little level of lightening them up a little bit. But then, and I'm sure that you guys have heard me say this before, that I have, being diabetic, sores just break out where you're not even expecting, there's no injury that has made it happen. And so when I use that touch on, or the stick on that, it helps keep them at bay and gets rid of them faster than anything that I've been able to do so far. So there's a lot to that frankincense in the different ways that way. So anyway, the stick, the shampoo I love, for self-care. It's a little bit more expensive. It's like salon expense that I was getting because of my daughter, recommended it. And then the soap or the bars came out, and she told me all the benefits of that, and I started using it, and I've not found anything better. It's not quite the same price as the salon ones, but it's more than what I get the Suave at Walmart, and decided I'm worth it because it makes such a difference when I use that. The deodorant, I really enjoyed the deodorant that they have. So when we look at doTerra and the oils, all of this stuff that we're talking about is infused with the oils, but they've gone to the next level. And every aspect of our life, even in our dish soap, in our laundry soap, to help make life more easier and more confidently in
And toxic free.
yeah, it enhances our life.
Yeah.
And so I want you to think about that. And if you have any questions about any of the oils or circumstances that you might have, please reach out and do that. Just one plug-in here is adaptive. We use adaptive for a lot of different things. Just in case you guys have forgotten about this one, because ADD is rampant in our society right now, is my husband, those who know, he is like off the charts ADHD, which is both good and bad. I'll take the good for sure. But he takes adaptive, and it helps calm his mind down enough that he can at least listen to me more than what he used to be able to do. And so that's a life changer. And so we make sure that he has his adaptive, which I just ran out because he didn't tell me. But that's a backup in our house. So
Love it. I love
just
it.
kind of putting that in there.
Let me share. My daughter once said, "Mom, I'm interested in the skincare. I'm going to do some research, but I'll have doTERRA be one of the ones I research." And like you said, salon version of things, the higher quality things that you buy that you're willing and decide you're worth it. She said, I found that it was just right up there with these really good products and price and everything. You know, Mom, the only difference I can see is that yours has oils in it. And I thought, exactly. That's a huge benefit. So you take the deodorant, the skincare, the cleaning, the every line of anything that doTerra has. Yes, it's the best good stuff you can get on the planet, which is much cheaper if you're on the monthly reward system so that you're getting 30% back. But you get the benefit of pure oils in it to be on and in and around your body, which is supporting you and giving you so much more help than all these other wonderful products. That there are good products out there, but we've got the tippy top and the best with the essential oils added to them.
We do, for sure.
Oh.
So I know that I was a long introduction into part that I wanted to, or my part is on the emotional side of the oils. So just in this world that we're in, we're often encouraged to prioritize ourselves, and but we always usually prioritize other needs over our own. It's easy to forget that the most important relationship that we'll ever have is the one with ourself. Self-love is not just a luxury, it's a necessity. It's the foundation upon which we build our lives, our relationships, and our sense of purpose. So we cultivate self-love when we develop a more compassionate and accepting relationship with ourselves. When we build resilience and confidence to navigate life's challenges, and we cultivate that self-love as we improve our relationship with others by setting boundaries, healthy boundaries, and communicating our needs more effectively. Anyone have trouble with that or masterful at being able to do that?
Getting better.
Yeah. Okay. And then we also cultivate self-love as we enhance our mental and emotional well-being, which we've talked a lot about today, which was our purpose. It leads to greater overall health and happiness. So self-care is one that truly, truly, truly does affect our health on a daily basis. So the two oils that I wanted to delve into, because they both have a emotional aspect to it as well as a physical aspect. So the first one is rose. Don't know.
Yep.
There, she showed that. So this is known as the oil of love and an oil of self-love. Okay, so think of that as you're using it. Rose promotes feelings of self-worth, self-acceptance, and self-love. It helps to heal emotional wounds and foster a sense of connection to oneself and others. Its soothing scent can also help calm the mind and heart, making it a perfect setting for setting a tone of self-awareness and growth. So you can imagine using this oil as you're sitting down to have your prayers, or as you're studying personal growth anywhere, books, talks, scriptures, wherever that you find that for yourself. It's a perfect time to use that, and it just helps put your whole body in that frame of mind and openness to receive that love from whatever self-love care that you're doing. Okay, so rose, just a little bit about it, holds a higher vibration than any other oil on the planet. It's a powerful healer of the heart. It supports individuals in reaching heavenward and connecting with divine love. Rose invites individuals to experience the unwavering, unchanging, unconditional love of the divine. Who doesn't want that every day? And we all need it. This love heals the heart and dresses all wounds. It restores individuals to authenticity, wholeness, and purity. As one feels unconditional love and acceptance, the heart is softened. Just going to read that again. As one feels unconditional love and acceptance, the heart softens. That's what we're all looking for. As the heart fully opens, a fountain of love flows freely through the soul. In this state, one feels charity and compassion. Charity is experienced on behalf of oneself and others. Rose embodies divine love and teaches individuals how to connect this love through prayer, meditation, and opening their heart to receive. So I with Shaleen, encourage the roller. The scent is subdued a little bit so that it is easier to use and a whole lot easier on the budget. But so totally worth getting. I would encourage you to get that on because as much as the emotional healing is powerful with it, the physical healing is as well. So the other one that I wanted to bring to your attention is bergamot. I say it wrong, bergamot.
I think it might be bergamot, but I don't know. You can probably say it both ways.
Yeah. So this is the oil of self-acceptance, which is all important in our healing, both physically and mentally, because they both go so much together. This is often referred to as the oil of joy and the oil of self-acceptance. It helps to reduce anxiety, stress, and self-doubt, promoting a sense of calmness, confidence, and self-love. So you can see why this one is for February. As we're talking about self-love, this is one that's really powerful to have in your stack. Hopefully that's in the front of it because we're talking about ourselves right now. So bergamot relieves feelings of despair, of self-judgment, and low self-esteem. It supports individuals in need of self-acceptance and self-love. Bergamot invites individuals to see life with more optimism. I like that. And bergamot has a cleansing effect on stagnant feelings and limiting belief systems. Because the core belief of being bad, unloved, and not good enough, they seek to hide behind a facade of cheerfulness. They may fear revealing their true thoughts and feelings. Bergamot's powerful cleansing property generates movement in the energy system, which in turn brings hope. So it helps with those feelings of despair and all the negative that we feel. It helps it bring it to light and helps us to deal with that and to get rid of that. And I know that there's several people I know that just really are always down on themselves. And I just wish that they let this oil, just try to let it resonate in their home, diffuse it or put it on just so you can smell it in your hands to help your self-esteem, your self-worth be healed in a joyful way and celebrate who you are, the good and the bad. They all make us who we are. So it's a wonderful oil for those who feel down and hopeless. It awakens the soul to hope and offers courage to share the inner self, reigniting optimism and confidence in the self. It imparts let's see. Anyway, it teaches us to let go of self-judgment by learning to love ourselves unconditionally. So if you don't have either of those oils, put them on your wish list. And there's a whole lot more to be said about each one of them. But so, Shaleen, I don't see the time. Are we about?
We're good. Can I just mention the upbeat and not show the whole thing?
Yeah, I'm going to turn that time over to you. Just the one thing that I wanted to say with this is that if you're open to it, I have an activity about how to make an intention vision board and to make our own affirmation cards. So if you're interested in those, we'll do those in the future, or you can jump on with me at any time and I'll walk you through that. It's kind of fun. There's all kinds of vision boards out there. but I find that as I have power words up there, I mean, they can be on 3x5 cards or on a board or whatever, and they might change, but pick those words. And that's why it's fun to do as a group, because we'll all pick some different words
Yeah.
and it'll resonate. You know, I didn't think about that. I want that in my life. And so just take 3x5 cards, write a power word on each one, and then your wall, your
Yeah.
mirror in the kitchen or in your bathroom or where your workplace is, just stick them up on the wall. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. It's just ones that remind you, so that each day you're intentional about the feeling that you want, and it's right there. And then you can change them as new words come or new feelings that you want to have.
Love that.
So that's my challenge for this time. And if we had everyone on here, we'd probably like brainstorm that a little bit. But as Shaleen and I were talking a little bit earlier, she does this incredible um, thing. Have you done what, about 3 or 4 of them?
Oh, I've only done 2 so far because I'm doing them the
You?
first of every month. So,
Okay. And they are like the most incredible things, and you're going to want to subscribe to it to watch them each time, because they're truly uplifting. And she's calling it Upbeat, and which I love the name. So I'm going to let her tell you why she developed that and why it is so important.
oh, thank you. I just love to share things that I'm passionate about. And so I'm just going to share the screen so you can see what the logo looks like. Can you see that, Jolene? So I call it Upbeat, and I have a little music note because when you're doing music, it is an upbeat is right before you come down. And I'm going to stop sharing again so you can see me as I'm talking about. So when you're doing an upbeat, it's dum bum. So some songs just start on the beat. Some songs start on the way to go, da da. So it's the upbeat is getting ready for the real thing. And I thought, I'm going to call my little group Upbeat, short and sweet, and just send a monthly message out through text about different things that can be uplifting. So I created on YouTube. It's just a little YouTube thing. So if you are listening to this and you want to be uplifted on the first of the month, just send me a note and say, Shaleen, add me to your list, and I'll put you on there. But some of the things will make you smile, some of the things will make you sad. I share some of the mistakes I've made in life and some of the positivities and some of the good things that I've learned how to do better and manage time better and manage my life better. But really, it's all meant to just be uplifting and positive. And my goal is to fill the world with more of that, because that's what we need these days. So thanks for listening. Those of you,
Well, Shaleen, do we not have time to listen to one of them?
I'm just not sure we need to listen to the whole thing. I just don't. Let's not listen to the whole thing. If they want to do it, they just need to tell me, and then when they go to the YouTube page, they can pick up and watch these other ones.
Okay, you guys, I guarantee that you're going to want to go listen to them. They are
Sweet.
really incredible. And then you'll get it every month that she does it.
You're so sweet. I really do love to share. And that this project started because I had some nieces and nephews that I just wanted to uplift their lives and have a way to be in their lives a little more. And so that's why that one started. And then I'm finding the few oldest grandkids that have phones are getting it too. So it's good for my little bunch too. But so good. Love sharing good things. As you can tell, Jolene and I are just passionate about helping and uplifting you. So thanks for listening. Thanks for being here. And we love you. Go forward and have a great day.